Welcome back to Breaking Barriers to the Barkers with Danielle and Austin. This is our first time home purchase. What costs are included?
This is the second video in this series of first time home purchases. If you missed our first one, we talked about the baby steps on if you're even starting to think about buying a house, what you should be doing right now. So make sure to go watch that one if you missed it.
Right, and this video is going to cover all the basics and bases of what you need to pay out of pocket when it comes to buying a house. We're also going to be making a lot more videos about the home buying process and every step that you're going to need to take.
We've personally bought 2 houses of our own now, and we've learned a lot through just the trial and error process. And we feel like you guys shouldn't have to go through all of that we wanted to make this series for you guys so that way you can just fast forward to where you need to be.
Right, one of the biggest steps of being a home buyer, the first initial step, is the down payment. So you got to ask yourself, so what kind of loan do I need for this property? Because there's a lot of different loans with a lot of different advantages and disadvantages.
So we're just going to talk about, was like touch on or talk about?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Talk about a few different ones. First of all, there is a VA loan that's only for military veterans, and it's a very flexible loan for credit scores, and it also is a 0% down payment for purchasing the home, which is amazing. Now, if you're not a veteran, we suggest that getting an FHA loan for a first-time home buyer, and you need to have a minimum of a 580 credit score, and you could get a 3.5% down payment.
Right, so just to break it down for you, for a $100,000 house, that's $3,500 that you would need as a down payment. $200,000 would be $7,000 that you would need for the down payment.
So start thinking about what is the price of the home, a ballpark figure of what you're wanting to buy, and then estimate the costs for the down payment so that way you can start saving.
And you guys might be thinking like, whatever, I'm out of here. I can't afford a home, put down a down payment of $3,500 or $7,000. But there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Tell them about it, babe.
Well, the first way, and it's very timely right now, the first way that you can do that is by using your tax refund as the down payment. Now, I know a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't want all that money to just poof disappear. However, it will make your life a whole lot easier just to use that. And when you use that as your down payment, or what you use as your down payment, goes directly into the equity of your home. So it's all worth it in the end.
And another way to get that money is to do a 401k temporary loan, which is something that I did through my work for our first house. So, and the best part about it with a 401k loan is that it's not technically debt.
Yeah, so when you take a personal loan out of your own 401k, it doesn't affect your debt to income ratio that we talked about in our last video, so that's great. But if you want to know more about getting a loan from your 401k, we've listed a link in the description below.
Also, any interest you pay on it, you're just paying back to yourself. So, along with the down payment, there's going to also be some miscellaneous costs involved in the process, like your home inspector.
Yeah, so generally in our area, a home inspector costs about $500 for them to come, and you want them to fully inspect your home before you make an offer. Now, it's really, really important that you get a professional to do this. Don't just get like your Uncle Jim Bob, who happens to know a thing or two about some houses. No, get a professional, because they look at everything. So they assess what's the condition of your roof, and how does your foundation look, and just all the small ins and outs that the average person doesn't think about. And you're definitely not going to think about it if this is your first home, because you'll just be like so lost in all of the excitement.
Yeah, the appliances is what got Danielle. Reeled her in, hook, line, and sinker. Anyways, AC units, they'll check your insulation, they'll check your windows to make sure they're all updated. they'll check your garbage disposal because maybe the previous owner had kids and those kids decided to put pennies down in there and jam up the blade.
And they'll
you don't
find
know.
it.
They'll find out. They'll test it for you. So.
All right, another possible cost that you need to consider is a termite inspection and treatment. Now, sometimes, and a lot of the times, the seller will pay for the first year of the, like for when you purchase the home, your first year of having it, they'll pay for that first one. And then after that, it's up to you. However, if you have to start a completely new termite inspection and treatment contract with a company, then that could run around $500 as well. Now, the last expense that you need to keep in mind is the actual closing costs. And from this link by Zillow, you should expect to pay 2 to 5% of the home's value in closing costs.
Closing costs are made up actually of a lot of different things. To break it down for you, one of the things included is title insurance to make sure that the property that you're buying, the title of it, doesn't have any kind of debts or liens against it. For your escrow agent, for the real estate companies that are involved, for what else, babe? There's
Lots
a lot
of
there's
fees.
a premium mortgage premiums. I said that backwards. That's included. There's a lot of different things
Did you
that's
say
in the
escrow
breakdown.
agent?
Yeah, escrow agent. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the good news for you is that a lot of the times the seller will cover the closing costs, so it doesn't hurt to ask to see if they would.
Right. Actually, during the both times that we bought our house, the seller covered the closing costs. And then on our primary home, the seller actually covered the cost of replacing a water tank. Yeah, our water tank. So.
Water heater.
Water heater. Said that weird.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
So if there is something reasonable that you don't like about the house or that you don't feel like is properly functioning, or especially if your inspector finds something, then you should definitely ask the seller to replace that or change that or whatever, and they generally will foot the bill for that.
Yeah, I mean, don't be walking around like, oh, replace this, replace the floors. Yeah, come through here. Yeah.
Is this quality wood?
Is this quality? Is this Sequoia? Sequoia wood?
Sequoia?
Don't be that person. So don't go double monocle on them either.
Bo's looking at you like, quit.
Just a reminder, the month of March is our month for the fundraiser for the Artemis Project. Be sure to go and buy some merchandise. That way, all the proceeds, profits, will go towards the Artemis Project, buying things that those little cats and pups need.
Yep, along with a $500 donation from Austin and myself. And a huge thank you to all of you that have already purchased merchandise to help us help those fur babies in need. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyways, be sure to go like our Facebook page, Breaking Barriers with the Barkers, and subscribe. That way you can see all the updates and notifications for the upcoming videos. And be sure to stay tuned for our next video where we go over all the terminology that's involved with buying a home, because it can get a little bit mixed up. They're throwing out all these words at you, you know, and you're like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Like escrow. Ooh, that's a good one.
All right.
Or FHA or FHL loan. FHA.
All right. Until next time on Breaking Barriers with the
Barkers.
Barkers. You got really rambly man there. And I was like, just hush. Enough.
I was like, I'm not saying the right word. Water tank. Water tank.
You're like, so I'll just keep repeating it, and then that'll help. Okay. Little Bo, you sleepy eyes looking around.
Little Bo, sleepy eyes looking around. My closing costs. My brain starts spinning.
Little director eyeballing me over there.
What?
I forgot mine. Bose is always just like sleeping in our videos now. It's a constant. He's like, this is me going to work.